I want you to picture this for a second. A ballroom, glowing with soft gold light, crystal chandeliers overhead, people dressed like money, never keeps them up at night. I was standing there in heels. I shouldn't have been wearing 8 months pregnant, holding a glass of sparkling cider and smiling like my life was flawless. Everyone thought I was lucky. Married to a powerful man living high above the city, invited to all the right rooms. What no one saw was how close I already was to breaking and how one small moment would push everything over the edge. Yeah, this is where it really started. My name doesn't matter, so let's say I'm Claire. And my husband at the time, we'll call him Victor Hale. Tech executive media darling. The kind of guy people described as intense, brilliant, driven. They loved saying that word, driven. What they meant was controlling, explosive, and terrifying behind closed doors. But back then I didn't have language for that. I just knew how to survive it. That night was a charity gala for a children's foundation at the Grand Ashford Hotel. Victor needed donors. Investors, allies. My role was simple. Stand next to him. Look calm. Look grateful. Don't draw attention. My 10-year-old son, Leo, sat at a table near the stage with a sketchbook already trained to stay quiet. He learned early that silence was safer. Everything was going fine until someone brushed past me near the drink table. The glass slipped, cider splashed across my dress and shattered on the floor. A few people gasped. Someone laughed awkwardly. A server rushed over. No big deal. I was already apologizing when I felt Victor's hand clamp around my arm. Not enough for anyone else to notice, just enough for me to feel it. He leaned in, smiling for the room, and whispered, "Do you have any idea how stupid you look right now?" His breath was warm, his grip tightening. "You ruin everything." I laughed because that's what you do when you're scared and pregnant and surrounded by strangers with power. Leo came over holding napkins, eyes wide. "Mom, I can help." Victor turned on him instantly. "Go sit down. You're embarrassing us." His voice was low, sharp, final. I saw Leo shrink in real-time, shoulders folding inward like he was trying to disappear. Something inside my chest cracked. I said it without planning to. "That's enough." Victor's smile never moved. His eyes did. "We'll talk later," he said. That wasn't a promise. It was a threat. The ride home was silent except for the hum of the car and my heartbeat in my ears. Once the door closed behind us, the storm hit. He paced the living room, ranting about donors, optics, respect. He accused me of sabotaging him. He accused Leo of distracting me. When my son tried to pick up his dropped sketchbook, Victor kicked it across the floor. "Look at this mess," he snapped. "This is what happens when you let weakness into your life." I remember kneeling to gather those papers, my belly heavy, my hands shaking. One drawing had a little house with all of us inside. Leo had written "safe place." I swallowed so hard it hurt. That night, Victor finally said what had been leaking out for months. His company wasn't just struggling, it was sinking. He'd been moving money around illegally, borrowing time, lying to everyone. The gala was his last chance to secure new funding. And in his mind, I had ruined it. The next morning, his accounts were frozen. Phones started ringing non-stop. He screamed behind closed doors while Leo ate cereal in silence, flinching at every raised voice. That's when the pain hit me. Not discomfort, not pressure, real contractions. I told Victor we needed to go to the hospital. He stared out the window and said, "Now is the worst possible time." He talked about reporters, about optics, about how bad it would look. Leo looked at me terrified and quietly picked up the house phone. He called a cab. 10 years old, handling what a grown man refused to face. At the hospital, doctors told me the truth. Stress-induced labor, not bad luck, not hormones. Stress. When Victor showed up with his lawyer demanding access, yelling at nurses, security stepped in. The door was locked. For the first time, someone else saw him without the polish. By that evening, the news broke. Tech CEO under federal investigation. Pregnant wife hospitalized. Questions raised about family safety. Watching it on the small TV beside my son, I felt something unexpected beneath the fear. Relief. 3 days later came the turning point. Victor asked to meet, said he wanted to fix things. The police wired me. I met him in a crowded shopping center parking lot, a place he'd never choose unless he thought it made him look reasonable. He started calm, apologetic. Then I said I wasn't coming home. The mask shattered. He stepped closer, voice dropping. "You think you can walk away with my child?" he said. "I built you. I can destroy you." People started staring. Phones came out. He didn't care. "If I lose my family," he said, "no one gets them." That sentence ended everything. Security intervened. Police arrived. The wire caught it all. Court moved fast after that. Leo testified from another room, steady, honest. He talked about yelling, about being shoved aside, about being afraid to speak. The judge didn't care about Victor's suit or reputation. A restraining order was issued. Custody was suspended. His passport was seized. Months later, I stood outside a courthouse holding my newborn daughter Maya while Leo held my hand. Victor was led away in cuffs, still staring like control was a law of physics. It wasn't. Here's what I learned. Abuse doesn't always look violent at first. Sometimes it looks like pressure, like perfection, like teaching a child to stay quiet. And freedom doesn't arrive all at once. It comes in moments. A locked hospital door, a child telling the truth, a mother finally choosing safety over image. We live smaller now, quieter. Leo laughs again. He draws houses with open doors. Maya sleeps without chaos in the air. And that spilled drink everyone laughed about, it saved our lives. So here's my question to you. Where do we draw the line between ambition and cruelty, between power and control? How many people are suffering quietly because they look successful on the outside? Tell me what you think. Share your thoughts, your experiences, your disagreements. Because stories like this don't end when the video does. They end when we stop pretending we can't see what's right in front of us.